So welcome to Happy Hour. We have Billy Morrison today. This is a long time coming for this one. Long time. I think one of the first radio interviews I did was with you.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Been friends ever since. Did a bunch of projects together. This is gonna be one of those things, no format. We're just gonna start talking. We have a pretty cool project. Why don't you tell me about this?
So I did a super limited edition of this. And today, when like it always dawns on me last minute, I called the printer and I'm like, dude, do another one, do an AP. And what I figured is we're just gonna fuck it up.
Yeah. And we're just gonna doodle and
Whatever you want.
oh, cool.
Let your creative juices flow over my print.
That sounds like a porn, I don't know. Your band career.
Yeah, the band career is simple. I didn't have a band career because I was a junkie.
Yeah.
I was a junkie till I was 29, so I had nothing. Nothing happened before I was 29.
Yeah.
Joined the Cult
Yeah.
because Billy Duffy's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
He called me. Moved to America, joined the Cult.
What happened to the Cult?
Well, they're still going and they're still making great records. The thing with the Cult, Risk, is
But that record, the one, you know.
which one? Because there's been a lot.
Sonic Temple. Sonic Temple.
Well, yeah, there's Sonic Temple and Electric were the two big ones, and the first one. The thing with the Cult is it's Ian and Billy. They are the Cult. Always have been, always will be, and I respect that. And,
Right.
and if you look at their Wikipedia, I'm one of about 28 bass players that they've had.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not a bass player.
Right.
And I would never play bass for any other band. There's no glory in the bass. But it's the Cult.
You think I have a chance at the bass?
Anyone can play the bass, trust me. But I said
So I
yes.
should give up the drums and the guitars that you see around here and get the bass, maybe?
Yeah, I think we're done. We have a band
Yeah.
now. So that was the whole Cult thing. Is I said yes because on the bass lines are pretty easy,
Yeah.
and B, it's the Cult.
Cool. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I grew up listening to those albums, so I'm like, hell yeah. So I was bass playing the Cult, and when that finished, I formed the All-Star thing that me and Navarro.
Camp Freddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's changed name now. We could just because it was.
But that to me was awesome.
Oh, it's still going.
Camp Freddy was like.
It's
fucking-
called Royal Machines, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, I know, I'm familiar. But like that shit's so dope to me.
17 years that's
Right?
been going. Longer than most
But
real
you don't go on
bands.
tour for that or anything, right? That's just like a,
Well, no, we're all in real bands.
yeah.
and,
So you can't get
know,
the timing never
well,
works.
I don't really need another real band. Being in one real band is enough. The idea is for fun.
Yeah.
Get your rocks off and feel like it used to feel when you were 10 years old learning how
Some of
to
the
play
best shows I've
Zeppelin.
gone to was Camp Freddy
Thank you,
shows. Like
thank
those are fucking amazing. And there's always a special guest. You're like, oh fuck, you know.
We had Tiffany. Remember that song, that singer Tiffany?
Yeah.
We had her
Yeah.
sing "God Save the Queen"
Yeah.
with Steve Jones.
Yeah.
And she fucking nailed it. That and Billy Ray Cyrus singing "Highway to Hell."
Yeah.
That's the so I did that, and then I got this call. Steve Stevens, one of the greatest guitar players I've ever worked with, calls me up and goes, "Do you want to be a guitar player for Billy Idol?" And I was like, "This is bizarre." I used to skip school and go and see Generation X in the Marquee Club in London.
Yeah.
Like fucking 79, you know. And
Is that near Jubilee Gardens by any chance?
the Marquee's in Wardour Street, very famous.
Where's Jubilee Gardens? I'll tell you what I'm asking. Jubilee Gardens, because I went to London for the first time I saw it.
The skate park.
Yeah.
That's the South Bank. Yeah, it's nowhere near there.
So the first graffiti I saw was Jubilee Gardens. I was blown away because they had the Chrome Angels and all these graffiti crews there that were like fucking amazing.
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck is this? 'Cause I thought I knew everything. I was like, these dudes are fucking
That
dope.
was a scene.
And I met them later, you know, all of them. We battled years later, you know, but like they were amazing.
That's
And Jubilee Gardens was really dope.
At the same time as punk, it's on the South Bank.
Yeah.
And that was a big scene, the South Bank, Jubilee Gardens, the skating, the graffiti. And it was an awesome time. And I was a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
So I came up with that shit. And so years later, I've been with Billy 11, I don't even know, many years.
Cool. Let's start with the radio interview. You had a radio show.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that we did that.
Yeah.
You said just now.
And I think Scott Patterson somebody brought me.
I'm a fan,
Yeah.
obviously, and someone went, "Oh, I know that
Yeah.
dude." And the next thing is you said yes because you're a nice guy, and there we were
Yeah, and you were into art, getting into art, and you've fucking come light years since then. It was amazing, and your discipline is impressive. Like, you know, it's amazing. And I don't know if I can talk about all your art, but like I've seen so much of it. The stuff on the music sheets was awesome. Right. The stuff at the Mayfair Hotel, all that stuff. This stuff has come so far.
Thank you.
But this piece right here is what I'm really like into.
So the thing with me, I've always loved art. When I was about 10 or 11, someone showed me Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
And was relating it to the Velvet, because I was a kid and I'm just punk rock music, and I was so lucky I had this mentor that said, look, the Pistols, fantastic, you've got to understand where they come from to understand them. So he explains about the Velvet Underground, he explains about Andy managing them, and then he showed me the electric chair. And as a kid I'm like, oh my fucking God, that is amazing. Yeah. The electric chair is a piece of art. So I got into art at an early age.
And Dave has that whole suite, right?
I do too.
You do too?
Yeah, I couldn't.
Fuck
actually,
you guys.
I'm lying. There's one missing. I've got 9.
I don't. I just want 3 of them. I don't have space for 9. But
we can get 3. We can get you 3.
It's a powerful piece, though, right?
It blew me away, and I understood immediately his whole thing with art was repetition,
right?
Color,
right?
Single iconic image. Right. Turn something death and destruction.
Well, Campbell Soup can.
Exactly.
It's the most pop. It's that's you can't get any more pop icon than that.
I remember clearly a switch went on. Like I understood art. Well, not I don't understand art, but I understood Warhol and I understood the electric chair. Right. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Imagery and music. Yeah. Right? And so I got to a point in my life where I have the luxury of time.
Yes.
And the luxury of space.
Yes.
And so I started, I'll tell you, so obviously everyone knows I'm pals with Ozzy. Yeah. And he draws a lot, just for his own thing. Yeah. And we had this for years. He would say, he knew I loved art. He would say, you should paint. Yeah. And I would say, shut the fuck up. I can't. No, I can't. I never went to art. Yeah. And one day, I gave this a shot, like just because why not? And it was like, for me, it was like learning the first Sex Pistols song on guitar when I was a kid. Yeah. It was like this surge of energy, and it was creative, and I've painted every day since, even when I'm touring.
Well, I remember, I've talked to you through this whole process, and I remember you used to wake up at 4 in the morning and paint for an hour when you're on tour and all this stuff. I remember all this stuff, and your dedication to it was amazing, and you had discipline, Well,
I found something that, look, being in a band is the greatest thing in the world. Touring the world is fantastic. I've acted, I've written, I've done a bunch of shit. But this is, to me, the ultimate, you're by yourself. Well, you ain't by yourself. You're surrounded by people. But for me, there's no manager telling me it doesn't go. There's not, you can't play that.
This is the most fulfilling to you?
Oh.
Over music?
Oh, God.
Over music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Wow.
Well, it's different.
Right.
I'll be truthful. This is not ego. If anyone in a band says they're not doing it for ego, when you stand in front of 100,000 people at Donington and you go like that, if your ego's not getting stroked, you're fucking lying, right? So I get a certain amount of creative pleasure out of that, especially with Billy. Billy, I was fortunate enough to co-write the last album, most of it with Steve and Billy. I never thought I would get that opportunity. Yeah. I've just finished writing songs with Ministry.
Really?
Yeah, I've just, right around the corner as well. They live right around the corner. And I've written songs with Ozzy.
Tell them not to come around here. I want to, this.
Trust me, you'll know if Hal Jorgensen knocks on your door. And so that's creatively fulfilling, but as a personal...
That's an idea I want to talk to you about. Lyrics on canvas, but we'll talk about it later.
Oh, I've done a couple of pieces.
And that makes really a lot of sense for you and me. That's a good collaboration. Like,
that's a good idea.
It's a good idea. We'll talk off camera.
Yeah, off camera. That's a winner. So it's different kinds of creative fulfillment, but this is really cathartic. For me, painting is cathartic. So where that came from is.
You want to talk about that piece? You want to show?
Sure. I wanted to mess with oil, and I've done some oil paintings. but I want to get better, and so it's practice, and that is blank canvas, Picasso, whatever that fucking thing is, bunch of oil and a brush going like this, right? And I make it up as I went along, but the idea is it's half a white lady's face and half a black lady's face.
Does anyone have a piece of paper? Because when he shows you, it's like, there you go. Yeah.
White woman. Black woman.
And it's so you can see it totally, but I didn't notice until you showed me that.
Well, that came obviously through this shit that we've all been going through, and the Black Lives Matter, and I just wanted, like, above all of that, I just think we are all one. I don't see skin colour, and I'm like,
100%. Like, listen, man, I came from I came from the South. I came from there. I was raised around all this racist shit. Like, luckily I came to California at a young age, and I obviously being a graffiti artist from day one.
Right.
There's no racism in my life because that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to me. But like you said, what happened? Like you said, but license plates to me, it's one love, right? Some people go, why are you using license plates? I'm like, well, License to Ill, Styles from Miles, all these old Beastie Boys references, cool. Yeah. And then they go, you like to paint on metal. Yeah, cool, but it's more than that. It's like license plate is, it's to me, it's like a different races, colors, creeds, but it's just a license plate, right?
Just a license
so it's different
plate.
Colors, but it's just a fucking license plate. As we're all humans.
Yeah.
We're just people.
Well, that's the idea behind that.
Yeah.
And obviously, I was trying it in a new. But oil is difficult, man.
Yeah.
And I love it, and I love experimenting. What's made me happy about my progression in art is that I'm not just doing one thing.
Yeah.
I view my art as punk rock, and I'm sure you will agree. And I come from punk rock, from Bromley in London, and I was there.
Yeah.
And punk ain't a haircut; it's an attitude.
Yeah.
So I've been on major.
And a haircut.
Well, yeah, the haircut goes. I've acted in big movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
I'm in a fucking really big band. I've been in a few. And
Couple.
I paint, and I've never had a lesson in anything.
Music either.
Fuck no.
Really?
Fuck no.
Wow.
And that's why I don't really care. You know, if someone looks at my art and goes, yes, but I can... Fuck that. I don't give a shit. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Figuring out technically, like he's doing something there.
Yeah.
Half of me's paying attention.
Yeah.
Because I pick it all up. I came here once and watched you spray and went, I'm going to do that.
Yeah. We were in that studio. Yeah.
And I just, because I'm passionate.
You know, this is an interesting project. I'm doing this with local authority, DTA, Travis Barker, all these guys. It's going to be...
What's DTA?
Don't trust anyone.
And it's going to be...
the aesthetic.
But it's going to be like...
Punk rock posters. That's the
So he's layering it. So we're doing tons of punk rock posters. I'm going to go on top of it lightly, though, just whatever. So when you see this wall, it's going to look like... Okay, so you've toured your fucking whole life. You've probably played CBGBs a million times.
Yeah.
So it's going to look like the walls of CBGBs.
Yep.
This is what this shit's going to look like.
Yeah,
that's it. So that's what this is going to look like, right? And then I'm going to...
Peel a few off.
Peel a few.
Amazing.
And
I love the aesthetic.
And then I'm just going to put like some California culture stuff on it, like some car tints and my lines and my circles and stuff like that on top of it.
Yeah.
It's going to be dope. But like, the roots have to be like just texture over texture. Like you're not going to see...
Awesome.
You won't see any of this, but we know it's there, right?
building.
You know, it's like...
Well, I do. I didn't bring anything with texture other than that, but I love texture, and you've seen some of my pieces where I build up a collage, and I'm doing more of that.
Yeah.
I love, what Shepard does with texture.
So you doing a punk rock jacket with pins in it is different than, forget my speech, some dickhead street artist says...
Thank you. That's the way I would hope it's perceived.
Yeah, but
the idea of that was when I was a kid, like when I was about 11 and 12, I was, never went to school, going up into the centre of London, and I asked my parents for a biker jacket, because that's the thing, and I wasn't allowed. And so that's called True Colours, and I've done a few of them in different sizes, but the idea is that's the jacket your mum never let you have.
Yeah.
So these days, now you're an old guy and you've got some money and you can buy a piece of art. And all the people that bought them told me what badges and patches.
So by the way, I'm making a bunch of old punk rock pins.
Oh, Yeah.
making some killer ones that with Playboy magazine and stuff. And I'm printing my name on top of them, like they're old punk rock pins. But I'm gonna give you a bunch of them.
You guys tell us again about this.
Oh yeah. Go on, Kelly.
You tell.
Okay, so I did a limited print run, and today I called the print, and we got one extra one, which is that. And during this show, sometime we're going to fuck it up.
We should actually start scribbling.
Hand embellishing.
Hand
I'll
embell-
do a little bit now, 'cause I know what I'm
Have you heard about my hand embellishing?
I've heard about your hand polishing. He's very famous.
Just different.
His polish by hand is fucking great.
It's a different glove. Different glove.
So
Very famous.
We're going to hand polish this thing, and then at the end, if you've got to follow both me and Risk, and at the end, we'll just randomly. Someone else is going to randomly pick someone, but I'm just going to. I should. But I know. Should put gloves on, but by the time he's finished with it, why bother?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just gonna do some of this.
But so speaking of hand embellishment, Mickey Avalon was here, and I put my balls on some paper, right?
Yeah.
And I put my nuts on paper, and then they drew on top of it. I'll show you some of the drawings. They're really great. But I have to give you some.
But did you shave them first?
No, you can see the
You can see that's where I was going with that.
It was, and they were really cool until you mix so many colors that turned brown. I was like, this is not looking. Some stencils, some circles. This I got. This will work. Can we get some paint? Yeah.
Circle.
No, I'm looking. That's good. I'm gonna do the patterns.
Cliff Moreno says this
Yeah,
is
for sure.
already looking sick as fuck.
Cliff knows what's up.
This is an ashtray. Very important art accessory. If we go like that, and a smaller one at the bottom. Oh, look at that! Come on now.
The volcano or
We'll get some of that there, some of that there, one of them. Oh, and the shorts. I think I might be done. Just show him that real quick, right?
Yes.
It looks all right, right?
Yes.
All right. So this is what we got before Kelly gets his hands on it, right? Go on, son. Show me some shit.
I'm gonna do what I can do, you know.
Show me some shit.
But so these, where's those paintings?
What hat is that?
This is regular. I use Universal. I love that. I use 3 caps: Universal, a fat cap, and a New York fat cap, old school.
Yeah, but that's a wide soft, right?
Lights off, yeah. But oh, here. So these are the ball paintings. Check them out. Some of them. That's a great one.
I can see the seam down the centre. I mean, I can see the fucking.
It's an impressive
seam.
sack, though. Look at that.
That's a pretty good sack. That's full size?
Now I was like, I got nervous because like no one was into it. I started off like King Kong, and everyone got quiet, and I was like,
Batwing.
I don't know what that one was.
That's Garrett's volcano.
See, look, there's hair and texture.
Yeah,
That's Mickey Avalon there. 'Cause
This is fucking.
that might have been a shaft. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, we did shaft as well.
Nah, it might have happened.
Well, I mean,
I don't know what that is, but that's a Mickey
I
Avalon.
know exactly what that is.
you don't have any gloves on.
I know exactly what that is.
Oh, look at the
Oh,
rose.
so that's cool. I like
Right.
that.
So yeah, I just put my nuts on the paper, and then we made.
That's called stamping.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
But unfortunately, after you mix so many colors, it starts to look brown. Like that doesn't look appeasing, you know. I had to abort mission, but if I started like, look at this.
I would have said the brown, possibly not your best move.
Nah, but I didn't start
I
brown.
like that.
I started fluorescence. This is like you see, it's getting
Yeah,
brown.
Yeah.
See,
See, I just.
Oh, COVID bat wings.
See? Shows.
I've definitely seen it all.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Nice nuts.
sorry, thank you.
Great nuts.
Appreciate that.
Show me some shit.
No,
I'm learning
no,
from them.
no.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. See, that's fucking awesome.
We'll do some
I love-
circle
I
lines, right?
love this
Just a little text, right? Boom, it gives it like.
You make them?
No, dude, this is a screen door.
No.
Oh, like, where is it? This is a Home Depot, stock size screen door. So I go to hardware stores or whatever, and I find shit that's like cool, right?
Yeah.
So you have to understand. People go, "Oh, risk stencils." I'm like, no, asshole. Like, my graffiti is my graffiti. I don't use stencils. Fuck you. I could burn you with letters, whatever. But I started getting into these textures and things. Warhol,
Which
right?
is what I love.
Repetitive patterns, right? So when I was a kid in the yards, when I was trying to do some art shit that people hated, by the way. When I was a kid in the yards doing art shit, people hated it. But I'd take a milk crate. You have a milk crate in here? We have a
Yes,
milk
I
crate?
know the pattern.
But I'd hold the milk
Yeah.
crate up and do a pattern.
Yeah.
Repetitive pattern. I got older. I was like, cool. Started looking for industrial things with patterns, like all my circles and stuff like that. So to me, everything's a story, right? So fuck doing it for aesthetic. Like, I'm lucky enough that aesthetically my stuff looks decent at the end, but it's all about the process of doing it.
Well, that's what
know.
impresses me the most about your work is the process. I've been lucky enough to come here and watch you, and you follow you on the Instagram and you see what
Yeah.
you're doing. The process is insane what you do, like the amount of time and layers that go in, and that's what I'm trying to learn. You know.
Well, I mean, I think you've got it because I'm looking at what you're doing. But
I'm trying, but here's the thing: my first mixed media stuff was rip some magazines up, collage a canvas, paint over the top. And then I thought,
Yeah.
but what I'm proud of is I think of it, right? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, but it looks too neat. So what happens if I create a stain? So I don't Google, I just get some acrylic, because that waters down, mix up a brown stain it. Did a couple of pieces like that, and I'm like, well, what if I take some sandpaper to that?
Yeah.
So now I'm sandpapering shit. Well, what if I now rip some more, and I'm learning?
so let me show you. You said stain, and this is kind of funny. Can we walk? We can walk, right? We're very high quality, so it's just a.
So this is a totally professional production we've got going on.
So I did a show. It was a skull show at Buckshot Gallery, right?
Yeah.
So it was our first gallery, I think, in Santa Monica, and it was a skull show, right? So I did a skull, and I wanted to be like fucking heavy and rock, whatever.
Stain this?
So I'm gonna tell you what I did. So what it was, so I took everything from here, in my shop over there.
Right.
I'm a packer. I collect everything. My wrenches. I was pissed about using my wrenches, but they worked perfect. But I had to make a stain, right? So I took coffee. I went old school, right? Coffee grinds.
Yeah.
Coffee grinds and lacquer. And that's my stain. So check it out. This is 10 years old. I don't know how old it's old. But I've used every stain in the world. This coffee stain and lacquer has lasted
10 years
Yeah.
and weather.
Yeah.
It's
And I'm like,
amazing.
and I'm waiting for it to rust. I want it to rust. I'm like, this motherfucker won't rust. But any other,
Is that coffee as well?
yeah, that's
wow.
coffee.
Sure
What is it? Folgers.
It's got to be the Folgers stain. It's a very famous.
Folgers. It's one that makes you.
keeps you pick her up or whatever it is. That's amazing.
Yeah, but anyway, so I've used all the stains in the world, and the coffee, that's the one. But it's like you said,
But to me, that's the point of art.
Yeah.
Is you want to stain something, have some fun,
yeah.
learn about it, get the coffee out.
Well, because I consider myself a jack of all trades, king of none. Like, because I've done everything and I do everything. I'm not the best at everything, but I'm not scared to do anything. And I'm like, I need a stain. Like, I don't have a stain. I did coffee.
Right.
Usually now I have 20 stains.
Sure.
Like-
and I will learn that from, I'll do a studio visit and I'll tell someone, oh, I did this, and they'll say, oh, what you want to do is this.
Yeah.
It's not lost on me, and I learn, but I enjoy it. I think the important thing is where the art comes from inside. That's, to me, like, whether I like a piece or hate a piece, you can always tell the passion. It's the same with music. But
Right.
I respect the fuck out of them because they're doing what it's
Right.
obvious.
Right,
You know
right,
what I
right.
mean? What I can't stand is when it's completely clear. Yeah, and I'm stopping myself now because I'm not going to go there. But there is some of that going on.
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
So
This is the circle, and this is what I've been waiting to see.
Well, what color do we want? That's that's the question.
How do you choose your colors?
Me?
Yeah.
Usually I have a vibe for the piece, right? So the vibe for the piece, like this, I don't, because we're just kind of wondering. So like, I could totally fuck this up for whoever wants it right now. They could be like darker, like so whatever. But
You do your thing.
yeah,
I'm a fan of colour. To me, I actually didn't bring the piece, but colours really speak to me.
and to me, like
shades of colour. That's why
Yeah.
I wore these, because it's not just green; it's Tiffany green, and it's like it speaks to me.
Yeah.
You know? I love playing with colour.
and also like art tools, like making tools at work. Alex is right there. Say hi to Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hey, Alex.
But after he watches me,
Mind all of it.
he watches me like make shit with wood. He's like, dude, give me your fucking tool. And he makes tools for me that like makes it a lot better. But the process of making tools at work too is part of the art, you know?
But you see, if you're interested, what I like, a non-artist would get that and do it in the centre. And what I love about this is, you do that.
Yeah.
And it's off-centre. And I fucking love that.
Yeah. Well, so I learned with art at USC. I went to art school. So I did learn something in art school, and I didn't think I learned anything. But I learned triangle theory. So I look at things for 3 hots, 3 brights. So like at the end of this, you'll see me put yellow there for why you do it, because my eyes have to have a triangle, right? It's just something I learned. But I also learned that you enter a painting like you're reading a book, left to right, and you end here.
Is that right?
So I always have my circles here, and I usually have a splash there, but that's how you enter a painting, and that's just so my important points are like where you enter, where you leave.
See,
To me,
right there, that was worth the drive to wherever the fuck I am right now.
Just tell them the idea behind the circles and the lines.
okay, so the circles and lines are pretty funny because people go, "What's a circle and line?" And to me, it's the most rudimentary form of graffiti, right? So in graffiti, we have the bubble fill in, or the dots, or the cloud background, right? Circles. And architecture of all letter fonts are weights and balances. So if you have like 90-degree angles, that's your letter form, right? So that's my graffiti. So people go, "Where's your graffiti?" I'm like, there it is. So I just break down the graffiti, and that's it. So when you see these lines, that's my graffiti. So as a graffiti artist, I don't want to do graffiti in all my gallery work, but I always want to have graffiti there. So that's the graffiti. So people are like, "What's?"
That's really cool.
Some people go, "Oh, his lines." Oh yeah, fuck you. That's what it is,
But again, I'm not making art for those people.
I'm not either.
And neither are you.
I'm not either.
So
But
I don't
I
really
got to
care
be
that.
true to myself. I'm a graffiti artist, so I got to
Right.
make sure that
Right.
Getting offers on the internet for this print right now.
He's giving it away.
It's free, and there won't be another one.
Well, Hoban says $2,000 right
Ah,
now. Might need to get back.
I'll tell you what, and I haven't discussed this with Kelly, but if he donates it and proves that it's been donated, we'll take offers.
yeah.
We don't want money, but if you want to make sure you get it, let's take it there.
What would the charity be?
Hoban, I got 2,500 on it now, bro. You got to up your game. He's only at 2. He said for sure it was a friend with mouth cancer.
See, now I want it. Now that's really cool. I knew this would be fun.
So what else have you been working on lately? What's the new project?
I did. I split my days.
Yeah.
So I
There's
get
some
up.
good comments coming through, guys.
There are.
I won't repeat all of them.
We've
but,
got
they're pretty good.
we've got
Give us
some
a
time.
couple.
Maybe we'll have a comment section.
Yeah.
I get up really early.
Yeah. You get
I
up
have
fucking
a long-
crazy early.
Hi. It's all happening here. I get up crazy early because I have a routine that's very
Yeah.
important to me in order that I can do this shit.
Yeah.
Which is meditation, and I work out for 2 hours a day. I'm really into fitness. So I have to get that shit out of the way before I can start creating.
Yeah, what time does that start?
5 a.m. I get up at 5 a.m. And
Me too. I mean, I get up to go to sleep.
you're going to bed at 5 a.m.
That's something. I get up off the
get
couch.
up off the couch
to go to sleep.
and go to bed. And then by the time I've finished all that, it's about 9 o'clock and the world is waking up.
Right.
So I split my time. I paint every day, but I've just finished working on songs for the new Ministry album, which I'm super. Do you know Ministry?
Of course.
So I met Al.
Uh huh.
We got on, and then I get this phone.
I don't know
call.
them like you know them. I know their music.
Well, I did. I didn't know. And Al calls me up and goes, "Would you be interested in writing songs for the new Ministry album?" And that's like, you know, I was getting loaded to Ministry in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I think I could possibly drum up a Ministry song or two. And I've ended up with Best of Friends. I've been out there a lot, and we just wrapped it. It's going to be a great album.
I'm gonna sign it here.
Yeah.
My triangle.
Yeah.
It's yellow.
Yeah.
You sign it there.
I'll do whatever you... This has become
But
yours
see,
now.
you know, I said the triangle theory. So 3 yellows, right? Hot, hot, hot. But there's my 3 yellows.
Right, so with your triangle theory, I wouldn't sign it in yellow.
No, not yellow.
Right.
Don't do yellow.
Right.
But I mean, that's my theory. You do what you want.
I'm
I'm
going
just
to
saying.
sign it in purple
There you go.
to not fuck with the triangle theory.
Yeah.
We're going to go right there. That's not bad fucking.
I actually like it a lot. So it's
love
been
it.
given away.
Yeah, now
Keeping it.
now I don't know what we're doing with it. Look, I've been to jail. I've been to 23 rehabs.
What's worse?
Rehab, for sure. You know, I've suffered some pretty heavy physical damage through the years. So I'm pretty adept at waking up and going, oh, okay, that's not happening anymore. We're doing this now. And so that's what I
We're
did.
doing that here. We're doing
Exactly.
it here. Yeah.
Look at what you've got going on.
We're doing it here. Like we, you know, Monster. Thank you, Monster. Love you. The concerts are canceled, so I'm here in the studio doing like Prince and stuff I don't really do a lot, and it's been great, and I love it. And more time in the studio, it's been awesome. But yeah, it's a new world, right?
But I guess the word they use is this fucking word pivot. You know, I hate the word that. Well,
Pivot.
stores, yeah, they're pivoting into outdoor dining, and it's a COVID word, but that's what you're doing, and that's what I've done. I woke up on March 15th,
Yeah.
and I knew this was fucked.
Yeah.
I was in Australia and New Zealand in January, and I saw it all coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
I thought, this is heavy shit, and I woke up March 15th and went, okay, that's not happening for a little while.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel for the people that are at home waiting.
You know, it's weird because I talk to everyone, and all my friends are like, either COVID's been the best thing that ever happened to them or the worst, right? And it's weird because, like, to me and creatives, it's great. You sit home and you do shit.
Yeah.
And it's just a weird thing, man. The pandemic's terrible. It's a tragedy. But, like, it's been so great. Like, I'm like, but it changed my life, though. Like, I'm not going, like, I'm sorry, but murals are done. Like, I'm going to do them, but I'm going to pick and choose them, you know?
But you are in. My point is, not everyone has the luxury to do what we've done, which
Right.
is we woke up and gone, okay, what now? Let's do something different. That's a luxury. There's a lot of people sitting out there that don't have this.
Yeah.
You know, and it is a disaster. But COVID's been. I've been all right. I never leave my house anyway.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
So nothing changed there.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, my chiropractor said, your body's in the best shape it's been in for 25 years.
Yeah.
And we worked out, it's because I did 140 airports last year.
Yeah.
And I've done none.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel you. I mean, I lost weight because, like, I eat a little healthier at home. On the road.
you look great.
Thank you.
Your nuts
I
look
paid him
good
to say
on those things.
They're heavy.
Heavy.
They're
Well,
good.
heavier nuts in COVID
Right,
for
yeah.
obvious reasons. You know, so.
But I've had a chance to like focus on stuff you don't focus on the road. You know.
But music, you were talking about music. Music
Yeah.
plays a part in your too. I mean, when you're not doing this shit, you've got the music blasting.
100%.
And
Like
that
you walk around
fuels
here,
you,
like
yeah.
every room you walk in, there's music blasting. And I got
different songs in each room, by the way.
Instruments every room. Like you're like, who plays that? I'm like, no one.
I walked in past one room and there's the best drum in the entire world. It looks like an Iron Maiden drum kit. And I went, who plays the drums around here? And he went, no one.
Well, we bang on them.
Well, yeah, but that's all you do is bang shit.
But my whole thing is like my drum party trick is I want to do John Bonham's Moby Dick, right? And I want the Chrysolite set, like the orange Chrysolite set. I want that set, right? And Travis told me he could teach me. He goes, I could teach you to play the song, but you're not going to learn to play drums. I'm like, fuck it. Forget that song. Who needs to play drums?
Do you not think you should start with something a bit less intimidating than John Bonham and Moby? Like the greatest drum
I'm old as
song
fuck,
of
bro.
all
I got no
time.
time for that, bro. Like, I got no
Just
time.
learn the Moby Dick, you'll be fine.
I got no time.
And you got amps? Do you get do the kids fuck around?
Yeah, I got a Marshall half stack. You play in a minute, like
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
I haven't played since March. I've written songs.
We'll go off air and just whatever.
Should we
Hey,
give
Kelly,
this away?
Just Pave's asking where this sign's from.
Oh, that sign is from Revoke. That was the show at Mocha, the Art in the Street show with Revoke. That's his sign. He let me hang in here, and it's fucking an incredibly dope piece. And what it is Air, and Air is a friend of ours that died, and it was a tribute to him. And if you see all the things in front of it, all the Virgin Marys, it's a tribute to all of our graffiti homies that have died. We've had a lot of brothers that have died, and that's the tribute to them. And we're going to put photos of all of them there eventually, but that's what that is. And Chef Mike brings us lays every week, so look at the lays up there, because he pays homage every week.
You got it going on it. Job done.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whoever buys this, you're doing a good thing, because we will make sure the money goes somewhere really cool. Except we're going to rip it.
It'll get there in one piece, hopefully.
Yeah, it will. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. We'll do it again.
Yes, a blast.
Yeah.
Fucking great.